So hello and welcome to today's massive Bully 2 news video. Now very recently Game Informer have released some apparently never heard before information about Bully 2, which they say was given to them by multiple different developers. Now I just want to clarify, this is not about the recent 2021 rumours, but rather the original 2008 version that was in development after Scholarship Edition's release. I'm not going to read the article word for word, I'm going to leave that link in the description below, but I'm going to gloss over the important information and features and stuff like that, alongside leaving my History of Bully 2 video in the description below. So let's get onto what Game Informer have apparently stated. So, following the release of Grand Theft Auto 4, Rockstar wanted to make much more expensive and prestigious releases, something we know with GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, with some extremely high budgets, well over, I think it's 200 million I believe. Anyway, Bully 2 was set to follow this plan, and they wanted to make Bully sit alongside Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption as mainstay Rockstar series. One developer is quoted as saying that Bully had a lot of focus on characters and deep systems, and they wanted to see how far they could push that, putting it alongside Grand Theft Auto levels of quality. With Bully 2, the team at Rockstar New England wanted to make the game world much bigger and deeper than the original 2006 game. They were putting in a lot of resources into its creation and apparently had a team of up to 50 to 70 people working on it at one point. But another developer says Bully 2 did have everybody at Rockstar New England working on it at one point. Most of the developers say that Bully 2's map was never going to be as big as Grand Theft Auto 4, but the map size was going to be between Grand Theft Auto Vice City's map and 3 times the original map size of Bulworth. And much like Bully 1, they tried to make up for the much smaller map size by giving the world much more detailed and in-depth environments. Many more buildings in the game were going to be enterable by force or normal means. One developer says that if you could see through the window, there was a way inside one way or another. So you know the honour system from Red Dead Redemption 1 and how NPCs remember Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2? Well, apparently that idea surfaced in Bully 2 first. They wanted to make the player's actions have consequences, and they wanted to make the NPCs of the world remember Jimmy and the things he did to or for the NPCs. And one developer gave an example, where they mentioned playing a prank on a neighbour and they would remember it. And this was later worked into Red Dead Redemption 2, where sometimes helping out an NPC, they might remember Arthur Morgan later on and give him a reward or try to get revenge on him. During this interview, I'll read out what one developer said word for word about this. The way you interact with other characters in this world, more than with your gun or with your fist, they have some sense of memory, a lot of stuff that originated in Bully 2. From what I remember reading in some of the design documents and my conversations with people, is you could build relationships with characters in the world. You could be best friends with the chef in the mansion or whatever, or the chef could really hate you or something. And that would open up different options. I don't know to the extent of where that ended up, or if it got pared down to the general you're good Jimmy versus you're bad Jimmy or what, but I know in some of the early ideas being thrown around, you would have that fine grained level which every character in the world. When it comes to the game's world, they would have wanted it to grow alongside the game, such as having grass growing over time, and lawn mowing would have returned, as one developer says you could mow lawns. So it's safe to assume that returned. And I would assume as well that this idea might have stemmed from Bully 1, because you know how it takes place in the autumn and then, you know, goes to winter, spring and then summer. Anyway, they wanted to give the player the ability to break into people's houses, using some special glass fragment system which apparently was first introduced in Max Payne 3. Climbing would have been expanded upon extremely in depth. Jimmy can now climb fences, ledges, roofs and windows, etc. Oh, as for weapons, we do have a new confirmed weapon, which is a paintball gun which would have appeared. And water balloons would have also reappeared as well. Now, in a supposed playable build that was in Rockstar New York's headquarters, there was a mission heavily inspired by Camp Krusty, you know, that episode from The Simpsons where Bart takes over that abysmal holiday camp he and Lisa are sent to. And this ties in extremely tight with that leak from years ago, about Jimmy going to a summer camp. And much like Bully 1, there was going to be some heavy inspirations from films like The Goonies, Porky's, etc, and they wanted to get much inspiration from 80s style films. Oh, and they also say there was a mission with Jimmy in his underwear, and they specifically mention a bulge. The developers say they wanted to make the game a bit more risque than the original, but not gonna lie, I think that's a bit dodgy. Anyway, much like Red Dead Redemption 2, various NPCs would be seen doing day-to-day tasks, and the team said the game, as of the playable build, was 6 to 8 hours long. So that's just a very quick overview of some of the things mentioned in this article. Like I said, I will put a link to this in the description below. It is well worth a read, and there's much more information here about why the game was canned and all that, and I think this video has gone on long enough. And yeah, so thank you for watching this video if you sat all the way through, and have a great day, and Happy New Year as well.